let's talk about a non-writing showrunner, which there are many people that don't believe that position exists.
Well, the position does exist. I'm here to tell you. Well, I guess the difference is that I don't write the scripts.
Isn't that the only difference?
Yeah, I think there was probably more differences when I started, but through the years, as David and I have worked together and with other writers and producers, I like to say I've become more sensitive to the writing process, and I try, in other words, I'm in all the writers' meetings. I sometimes have ideas, but I don't. It's not so much about me. I'm just trying to absorb the language of the show at that point. And I'm trying to give room for ideas with writers. So I don't get alarmed if I maybe see that the script has, 55 beats or, something that, like, I'm not thinking so much about, this is not producible, or, oh my gosh, they have this, bus blowing up or whatever. Like, in my mind at that, I think that's it. I think for me, it's about just being in the right headspace at different times during the process, I guess. And then for the writers as well, at a certain point, I like to tell them that, the time for ideas is over. And that's like when they publish a script, and it's usually junior writers that we have, but wait a minute, I just thought of this idea, and maybe we can, and it's like, what, we already cast that part, so we really can't change it into a, whatever. And so I think it's about mutual respect, really, for everyone on the team.
Also, it means you're on set all the time, which neither David nor George are.
Well, they are too. I mean, that's another thing about our show, is that we always have a writer or me on the set at all times, and that's something we learned from Tom Fontana.
Yeah, that's right.
Who started, was that that's sort of the training that Frank and I share. That so that means that when we get to post, we don't, as a previous question was, we don't often get derailed, because we've sort of been there the whole time and see how the story unfolds, how the actors respond to what's in the script, and we're able to sort of deal. If there's a director that doesn't understand something, there's always somebody there who's a resource.
But you're the constant. Like, it feels very different when George is the writer on the set than when David's the writer on the set.
I have to be. Well, that's
I
try to be the continuity. I try to be everywhere all the time, so that there's.
How's that going?
I'm actually bringing this next year. I'm going to have a director-producer coming on to help share some of that, because literally I did find that I was stretched a little bit thin and wasn't covering everything that I wanted to last year. But no, I try to do that because other people are all alternating, and there has to be some kind of through line,
Do you alternate DPs?
No.
So do you consider the DP sometimes the through line?
Yeah, me, the DP, and the production designer. Absolutely.
And Jessica, do you have a writer on set?
We try to always have a writer on set. We have a producing director who will be there if the writer's not, who directs about 4 episodes a year. But I also find that the production designer, the importance of that person is really, to me, like, I'm constantly talking to him, because he's really managing the look of the show through the seasons. But yeah, I like having a writer there. Yeah.
I should say something else, Dan, on the Deuce. This is a unique show, and we have so many situations where we have closed sets, and we have both men and women who are in uncomfortable positions, and I think, or I don't know if it's uncomfortable for them. I think, yes, vulnerable. And we have a lot of new actresses also who have not done this type of work before. So I think for me, I always want to create a safe space and a space where people can do good work. But on this one especially, I thought that I needed to be there as just a representative and a different perspective. That, I mean, the men that we have on the show are tremendously respectful also, but I think we've found that sometimes the definition of what might be uncomfortable or overwhelming is different for men and women. So, yeah.